Thanks for joining us on a beautiful Friday. I'm your host, Lori Gilbert, and it is time for our radio show in which today we're going to visit with our friends from the Bureau of Land Management to talk about our public lands and, of course, California Trail Interpretive Center. We're going to start things off by talking to Clint Mothershed because Clint has the latest on fire season, which, here we are in August, Clint, and I guess things are still just as dry, just as hot, and just as threatening as ever, right?
Yes, thanks for having me on, Lori. Yep, you could say all of the above there. I could say it's a little bit drier than it was last time we talked. I know I painted somewhat of a gloom and doom scenario, but we've got a plan for the worst and hope for the best, and that's what's happened over this last month. But I don't think it's going to be too much longer. We should really be picking up. I was up on the west side, up kind of south of Hawaii, and it's really dry up there, and I'm sure that it's dry like that all over the county or getting really close. So we're still bracing for the worst to happen, hoping for the best.
He, in fact, is wearing his fire gear, your Elko District Fire with the BLM, and we have had some folks already, they've been called out and they've gone to support crews because our fire is burning in a lot of places, right?
Oh, yeah, we've sent resources all over. We've had, I think, Oregon, any of the western U.S. states, we've sent someone or a piece of equipment or something to.
So what we want to look at first is the fuels outlook for the next 3 months. As you said, things are dry, and we have a lot of fuel left to burn.
Yes, we do. So our meteorologists yesterday, they sent out the updated forecast for the next 3 months, and it's about what we're expecting. It's hot. The monsoon, as I mentioned a couple months ago, is a little bit weaker. We are getting the humidity, and that's what I think have prevented our fires from getting large. We have had 32 fires over the last 30 days. Most of those, half of them human-caused, but they're just not getting very big, and I think it has something to do with the humidities and time of day that they're starting. You get the thunderstorms that usually form in the afternoon, and so by the time the fires get popping off, the lightning's usually later in the afternoon, then the sun goes down, the humidity comes up, and it kind of helps the firefighters get around them. But they did have a couple wind-driven fires that they worked really hard on and were able to get around, turn the corner on, and keep them small.
Yeah, great work by our local crews and that of our federal agencies, working hand in hand. So what does level 5 mean when we get to that stage, Clint?
It is basically a national preparedness level rating. Usually, in the winter we're at preparedness level 1. Everything's calm and nice, and it ramps up to 5. And so right now, I think nationally we're at a 5, and within our Great Basin GAC, we're close to 5, but I think we're a 4 right now. It's more of just a heads up and an advisory for everybody that this is the level that we're at as far as anticipation of large fires, or in some areas they are, Northern California and Oregon, they are burning up right now. So it all just plays into the amount of resources people need and can request. It's more of a planning tool than anything.
And it's important that we just remind people of the basics. We love to get outdoors, Clint, but there are proper ways to recreate, to do it responsibly and safely, especially during the season.
Yes, yeah. So we haven't had many UTV type fires, people going off road, which I have to remind the public that we are in fire restrictions and that is a prohibited act. Please don't do it. I don't want to have to investigate those fires and send you a bill in the mail. It's the least favorable part of my job, which I haven't mentioned before. But we are coming up on hunting season, and with hunting season comes UTV, ATV, scouting, going out on the weekend, getting to the high points and glassing. I need people to be really mindful if they're going to do that understand that going off-road, we are in fire restrictions, and it is a prohibited act on BLM land right now. So, and it will be for the foreseeable future, I'd imagine, up until maybe the end of October, until we get a really decent, rain event. So, on top of that, you're going to want to have your campfires and stuff. Please go to NevadaFireInfo.org. You will learn about what you can and cannot have. Right now, we're in stage 1 restrictions, which means you can have, if you're in a fee-paying site, you're allowed to, unless it's super windy, have open flame wood fire. But if you're outside of one of those at a dispersed camping site, something that you don't pay for a fee for, could be in a grove of aspens or wherever it may be, you can still have fire. Just have to have on-off switch, so you can bring your portable propane fire pit, and you can do that, but you cannot burn carbon-based materials.
Okay, and just remember those embers can lift and drift, and you could spark a fire, miles away. So
you can,
yep.
Absolutely.
So we talked about hunting season. Again, just being aware. I'm sure next month we'll be able to talk about, when you go out harvesting wood and that kind of thing, other things that you need to do. But There are still some things that people can do to harden their home space, right, Clint? We're just hoping that they're careful, don't spark a fire while you're doing that.
Yes, absolutely. So yeah, we're definitely, like as I mentioned earlier, we're not out of the woods. We are bracing. We have had late seasons before, and it's probably what's going to happen this year. It's just the nature of the beast. 2011, we got our first fire in October, large fires, and they were huge fires. It was just everything lined up, everything dried out enough, and they were wind driven, and they burned thousands of acres. So that being said, yeah, please, if you're going to do some stuff around your home, such as mowing, trimming, whatever it may be, just do it early in the morning when the humidities are high. Always have a hose that's charged, with a nozzle on the end with the water turned on in case a fire does start. It's very impressive how fast these fires can spread in cheatgrass, especially if there's a little bit of wind. You won't be able to catch it if it starts, if you don't have everything in place, having a shovel there, that kind of stuff. So yeah, please weed eat, please do all that stuff. Just do it early in the morning. The same goes for people that want to go sight in their rifles for hunting season. We ask that you do that early in the morning as well. Choose a backdrop that isn't solid. So dirt berm's great. But stay away from shooting at steel plates, steel targets, or with rocks in the background. The science that we've have shows that it doesn't take much for a fire to start in that. And people might not know that they start the fire. They could shoot a few rounds and then move on down the road. And some of the tests show that it takes 15 minutes for those things to actually smolder into actual flame. So by then the people are gone, and then we're off to the races.
Clint Mothershed is our fire mitigation, education, and fire investigator for Elko District BLM, and we are again ramping up for fire season. And when it comes to the 3 different zones that people want to create, you can find this all online, by the way. I think you said, is it livingwithfire.info or?
Livingwithfire.com.
.com, okay.
And Nevada Fire Info, they're connected. And there's also Fire Adapt in Nevada. They're all kind of interlinked websites, but they definitely have all the tips and tricks you want to know about when it comes to hardening your home for wildfire. We live in wildfire-prone area. That's never going to change. And so it's up to homeowners to take care of their own stuff and protect it. It's very sad stories. I've mentioned before on programs with you, Lori, that sometimes people think that they're good and they're out of the woods. And some of the people that have talked to us were actually wildland firefighters, and they lost their entire home. They lost everything, their pets, their heirlooms. So having the mindset that it can't happen to us because we're here or there, that's the wrong mindset to have. It's just better be safe than sorry. We don't have enough fire trucks for everybody's driveway, and we never will. But when we do the triage, meaning we come into a community that if wildfire is getting ready to encroach into, we pick the homes that people have actually done some work around, because we are not going to put our firefighters in a dangerous situation. And a lot of these, rural areas, most of the homes have propane tanks, that kind of stuff. Weed eat around those. If you can identify where your septic tank is, that'd be a great thing, because fire trucks weigh about 15 to 20 ton. So, and we have dozers and stuff, so we don't want to back a truck or pull it, run a dozer over top of someone's septic stuff. But really just do what you can early in the morning to clear around your home if you have not done so already.
And so, Clint, you mentioned too, or if you did mention it, yeah, I know you suggested firefighter safety. You have to go into that safe, defensible space. We lose firefighters every year. This is a very dangerous job. And we lost someone in a seat crash, I believe, right?
Yes, and I don't know too much.
We don't know too much yet, but that's been a week or so ago.
It's unfortunate, yeah.
Yes.
It does happen. It is the nature of the job. Extremely challenging, and it's pretty sad. There are good thing is there are foundations out there. The Wildland Firefighter Foundation, you can find them online. You possibly may be able to donate online to that cause. And what it's really there for is for families that have lost a loved one while in duty or on duty, performing wildfire suppression operations. So it's very good, and it supports them, and it's a sad thing. We never want to see it. We train hard to not get into those situations, but things do happen, and unfortunately, it happened last week.
Yeah, so that's why we need to just do everything we can to prevent those human-caused fire. Mother Nature is definitely does enough damage. As you mentioned, about half the fires are started by, say, lightning, for example. So no debris burning, that's already a given. And we know that you're going to be at, or you or some of your representatives, at several lingering special events this summer season.
Yes, I think I mentioned National Night Out. It's going to be on August 6th. It's the first Tuesday of every August, and it's a really great event for the public to come out and interact with your emergency professionals. There'll be lots of law enforcement officers there, lots of firefighters. You have game wardens there. I mean, it's a really fun time, and there's live music. There's free food, and the kids can go home with some pretty cool, fire prevention type materials. So, and beyond that, we have in Carlin, the week of August 16th through the 19th, I believe, they have 3 events going on. They have their Show and Shine car show, their Art in the Park, and then they have, I think it's a ranch hand rodeo. So Carlin's going to be hopping here in a couple weeks, and encourage the public to go out and support Carlin. That's where I spent 7 years of my career running fire trucks out there. So it's a nice community. It's a good community, and I can't imagine it won't be a fun time.
Yeah, that is a great opportunity. Carlin really knows how to put on a good time. And then everybody will be on hand for over Labor Day weekend, the Elko County Fair and Livestock Show and Sale.
Yeah, that's going to be a good thing. We're hoping to have a booth there, have some wildland fire prevention materials. So we'll see how that all plays out. We could be up to our necks with fire. We hope not, but you never know. So it's a great event. For folks that have never attended, it's highly recommended. You can go to the 4-H barn, check out all the animals, and they have vendors there with really cool items or really good food, and then obviously the horse races themselves. It's just such a great experience. I've gone to the fair. I don't know how many 40 plus years I've been at the horse races. I hate it when I have to go on a fire and miss any of that stuff. So I'm looking forward to it, and I hope everybody else is, and I hope they attend and support that event because it's a good one.
Clint Mothershed, thank you so much. We always appreciate your updates. We wanted to mention, too, in closing, that a famous icon of preventing fires, wildfire awareness, that most of us grew up with in our childhood, Smokey Bear, will be celebrating a big birthday this month.
Yes, he's turning the big 80 on August 9th. So I think I have some stuff at National Night Out that we'll be handing out that's, particular to Smokey's 80th birthday, and I imagine the other agencies that will be participating will have stuff as well. But it's going to be a nationwide event. We did try to get the Smokey Bear balloon here this year for the Balloon Festival in September, but they had to. One of them is decommissioned, and they're getting a new one built, but it's not going to be ready in time. So maybe next year we can get the Smokey balloon back in the area.
Oh, that'd be fantastic. Thanks for all of your efforts, Clint. You've really put Elko on the map when it comes to these fun activities and the seriousness of the fire messaging that you do. And I know that your colleagues in the fire district appreciate it because hopefully that keeps them safe too. So thank you. Yeah, appreciate that. So with that, we can switch over to, speaking of your colleague from California Trail Interpretive Center. Should we visit with Cheryl now for a while?
I think so.
All right, Clint, thank you. And I really appreciate you come from a legacy of firefighting family, by the way. And I like to think about your dad because you said he shares a birthday, or at least that year, with Smokey.
Yep.
Yeah. So
we've been 80 this year. So.
Wow.
But we're 3 generations into public servants and wildland firefighters with my nephew now working for NDF here on an engine crew. So, yeah.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
Wow. That's a wonderful legacy. Thank you so much. And congratulations to your nephew.
Yeah.
Very cool, Clint. Clint Mothershed is our guest today, and we're catching up on your public lands. And now we're going to shift over. And Cheryl, you've been waiting so patiently, and thank you so much, Cheryl Miller from our California Trail Interpretive Center. I know you talked about that too, in that you have also spent a great deal of your career in helping educate people about fire awareness and the seriousness of that. We lose a lot of our cherished community resources to wildfire, sadly. So thank you, and let's talk about what's going on at the Trail Center, shall we? Oh my gosh, all the Starry Night adventures that you have coming up. This is really cool.
I'm really excited to be here today. Thank you so much for having me, Lori. It's always great to hear what you have to say, Clint. I'm definitely on fire alert now, so thank you for that.
Yes, definitely important. So Cheryl, let's find out about Celestial Adventures. There's a big one brewing, and it's always hard to figure out which one to start with. But I do want to mention that tonight, Lamoille Canyon Powerhouse Picnic Area, this kind of kicks off the August event. That's going to be, isn't it on Friday, August 2nd?
August 9th. We're going to be out.
Oh, you guys will be there.
Yeah.
Joe Doucette's coming tonight.
Right.
Yes.
So there will be some wonderful people in the canyon
Yes.
tonight. It just won't be us from the California Trail Center.
So kick it off tonight and then continue your weekend tomorrow for Night Sky.
Yeah, so we're going to be following Ranger Evie for a night sky celestial adventure. This will be tomorrow at 9 p.m. out at the California Trail Interpretive Center. Hopefully skies will be clear, but even if skies aren't clear, I've been told s'mores will be served. So either way, come on out. We'll have telescopes out. We'll have a ranger-led program. Bring your snacks, bring your family, bring a blanket, some chairs, and just enjoy the night sky with your family and friends.
It's free. It's at California Trail Interpretive Center. Fantastic. And then, as you mentioned, another great weekend beginning next week.
Yeah, so we will be out in the Powerhouse picnic area on August 9th at 6 p.m., another evening program. And this is a joint program that we'll be running with Friends of the Rubies, also the U.S. Forest Service. And what we'll be doing is a gold panning program. So come on out and we'll teach you how to gold pan, and you'll leave with some real gems. And again, there will be s'mores. So I guess it is National S'mores Month. So we have got a little bit of a theme here with everyone coming out to see stars and s'mores.
Why not? Yes, if summer is so good for that kind of food, whether it's hot dogs and burgers, but certainly enjoying those delicious s'mores. And another chance to enjoy s'mores and a meteor shower watch party. Now, this one's special too because of the Perseids meteor shower.
Exactly. So I don't know if all of you are aware, but this is a great time to view the Perseids meteor shower. And if you come out to the Trail Center, we're about 8 miles west of town, and so you don't have a lot of light pollution. So we've got beautiful, clear skies, great for watching the meteors, but also, I guess August 10th is also National S'mores Day. So come on out, we'll be serving s'mores, and we'll have rangers on hand to be pointing out all the beautiful things up in the sky. But mostly it's just an event to come out and enjoy with your family, hang out, look at the stars, and, load up on some chocolate right before bed.
That sounds perfect. You've got to squeeze every bit of fun out of summer, because then the following day, it's time to start thinking more about back to class.
I know. Can you believe it? Yeah, summer is almost over. Kids are going to be going back to school. And so we'll be making some back to school pencil bags. And that is going to be led by one of our wonderful volunteers, Brenda. And we will provide all of the material, all the thread, scissors, all that good stuff. And we'll have both modern sewing machines, and we'll also have the treadle machine from 1922 that doesn't use electricity. It is foot powered. So if you want to get some exercise and make pencil bags, come on out. And what's most wonderful about this event is Brenda is an extremely experienced seamstress, but she's also patient and kind. And so she will walk you through the project. If you have no experience, no worries. If you have tons of experience, even better, you can probably help others as they make their bags. So come on out. It's a free event, and we're hoping lots of folks will show up.
Oh, Cheryl, thank you. It's always nice to highlight people and their kindness and their generosity, especially when they have the talent and the skills, the enthusiasm that Brenda has. That's great. So that date, again, is Sunday, August 11th. And then there's one more chance for a Time Travelers overnight camp. I heard great things about this from the first one this summer.
Yes, we've got one more opportunity for kids 8 to 13 to come out to the Trail Center. It will be August 16th and 17th, so they'll spend one night sleeping in the museum, and we have lots of really great activities planned for them. I think, like I've said before, we take all the great activities from the center and push it into about 24 hours so the kids can come and do Dutch oven cooking, gold panning, archery. We've got some sewing projects, stargazing, campfire, if it's allowed, of course, only if it's allowed and safe. And they end their whole experience with some hand-churned ice cream.
Oh, wow, that's fantastic. And so friends can come. It's the last blast of summer before you head back to school. And you do want them to sign up for this one by contacting Macy?
Yes, if you want to call the Trail Center, Macy will be taking signups, and she works for one of our wonderful partners, the Nevada Outdoor School. Shout out to Nevada Outdoor School. We're so happy to have you guys as partners, and they do such a great job with the camps, Macy and AmeriCorps members. Lots of guidance, lots of education, but most importantly, lots of fun.
Yes, and that's what our California Trail Interpretive Center is all about. Great family fun, free admission, and then they sneak in some education, which is also super cool.
We might trick you.
Yes, and you'll have fun while doing it. And for everybody, people of all ages, the Wild and Scenic Film Festival is also fast approaching.
Absolutely. So that's going to be on August 16th at the Elko High School Performing Arts Building. It's going to be an $8 admission. So this is one of the only programs that we charge for, and that's because it's a fundraiser for the California Trail Interpretive Center. This is going to be put on by another one of our wonderful partners, Southern Nevada Conservancy. And there will not just be wonderful environmental films. There will be raffles. There will be hors d'oeuvres. And there will be refreshments. So this is a great way to spark activism and awareness, or just a great way to spend your evening eating hors d'oeuvres. We'd love to see you out there.
Oh, Cheryl, thanks. Last year's was fantastic, and because it was so popular, they've moved it to the Elko High School Performing Arts Center. Again, just an $8 donation or more per person if you can make that. The Japanese grill, teppanyaki, is going to do the appetizers, and last year's raffle baskets and prizes, they were so generous. There were so many cool things, Cheryl. So, yeah. Friday, August 16th, Elko High School Performing Arts Center. And that's not all. August continues with, how about this family hike? I love hearing about this. It really helps people become more confident in the outdoors.
Yes, we want to capitalize on this wonderful weather while we still have it and while we can get up into the Ruby Mountains. So we'll be leading a Thomas Canyon family hike on August 24th, starting at 10 a.m. And if you're not familiar, that is up in Lamoille Canyon. And Thomas Canyon Campground is about halfway up the canyon. It's on your right-hand side as you're heading up the canyon. And folks will go ahead and meet at the Thomas Campground. Look for the signs for the trailhead. You'll meet the ranger there. Ranger Glenn will be heading that up. He's also going to be partnering with Friends of the Ruby Mountains. So we'll have some celebrities on the hike as well. We have some wonderful volunteers. And their plan is, just to make it super friendly, slow, nice. The duration will be about 3 hours. And Glenn has promised viewing of waterfalls, wildflowers, views, and lots of beautiful stuff. So hopefully he'll get lots of folks out there. Like I said, it starts at 10 a.m. You'll want to meet there about 9:45 so that you're ready for the hike. And of course, you want to bring lots of water, snacks, sunscreen, a hat, and I was told by a local never to go into Lamoille Canyon without a jacket, so take that local advice and never go into the canyon without a jacket. And then also if you have field guides or you like to use the nature apps, all of those will be wonderful. Glenn and some of the other leaders will be there to help you use those, identify the flowers, the trees, all that good stuff. But bring your family, bring your dog, and join Ranger Glenn for that wonderful hike.
And Cheryl, what you always emphasize, which is what you bring to all of these activities, your sense of wonder and excitement.
Absolutely. I'm always packing
you
excitement.
Are amazing, I know.
And so if you're not like me, maybe just pack a little extra for the day. I won't be there to bring it, so you can all bring it on the hike.
Let's do that. And please do sign up in advance because Ranger Glenn needs to have a head count, right? So
yeah, we like to just have an idea of how many people are coming, how many supplies we need, and if we need to bring some more volunteers or whatever to keep the group safe, but also to make sure that everyone gets to learn along the way, gets to ask questions, all of that good stuff. So this will be a nice, slow, family-friendly hike, and once everyone meets up, they'll gauge how far they'll go and things like that. So it'll be very family-friendly and gauged specifically for whoever shows up.
Oh, thanks, Cheryl. And then we want to remind folks of the ongoing activities and events every weekend now through the end of the season at California Trail Interpretive Center, which is just 8 miles west of Elko. Take the Hunter exit, free admission, and a huge attraction happens every Sunday.
Yeah, so we've moved it earlier in the day. It's a little nicer to be out, a little safer to be out. At 11 on Sundays, every Sunday in August, we're going to be doing bows and throws. And if you're not sure what that is, it's basically throwing sharp objects at, targets that we've made. So we have axes, we have throwing knives, we have bows and arrows. that we'll have out for the whole family to use. Please keep in mind that you need to be 8 years or older to throw sharp objects. I think that seems pretty reasonable. I don't know, Clint's not agreeing with me over here, but we think that's reasonable to keep it 8 years old and above. And so come join us. It's always lots of fun. And like you were saying, everyone really enjoys it. So bring grandpa, bring grandma, mom and dad, all the kids out as long as you're 8 years and older. And we'd love to have you just have some fun out on the bows and throws course.
Thank you, Cheryl. And all of this fun is really made possible because of the dedicated staff that we have at the California Trail Interpretive Center, this wonderful cooperative relationship with of course, the nature or the Southern Nevada Conservancy, our local district, Elko BLM, the foundation, everyone who makes the programs possible. A lot of volunteers are also behind the scenes. And the good news is you're looking for more people to help out.
Yes, we love our volunteers. We rely heavily on volunteers. They are really the backbone of what we do, and they really bring a lot of, really incredible knowledge, energy, excitement. We love our volunteers, and we're really looking for a few more right now. So if you've got some extra time and some extra enthusiasm, we'll give you everything else that you need. We'll give you the knowledge you need, the training, everything. And we're really looking for folks that would be willing to greet people at the front desk, tell them a little bit about our programs, and free us up, as the rangers to, plan our programs, execute our programs, work on all that behind the scenes stuff, even cleaning the museum and things like that. I think people don't realize that it's us, that are taking care of all of the exhibits. We're cleaning the windows, we're plowing the snow when it starts to fall. And so if we can have volunteers help us out in the interim, that just really helps us up our game, helps us up our quality and our quantity of programs. And so we just really love our volunteers, but particularly we're looking for folks that might be willing to greet folks at the front desk, help us with programs, and things like that. So you can contact me directly at the Trail Center. The phone number there is 775-738-1849, 1849. I wonder how we got that telephone number. That's pretty funny. And then my email address is clmiller@blm.gov. If you're interested, I would love to hear from you. And also, if you just got an idea, if you have a talent, if you have a skill, if you're crafty, we would love to put all of those good skills to work at the California Trail Center.
Oh, wonderful, Cheryl. Groups, scouts, families, it can be your organization, a service group, any kind of club, but you could certainly lend a hand, and not just for the summer, but for the months ahead. Things tend to slow down a little bit, but that'll give you a chance to enjoy and be good stewards of the California Trail Interpretive Center, which really does belong to all of us, which is fabulous.
Absolutely. That's what I love about it so much, is that it's not my place, it's not Clint's place, it's everybody's place. And we love to welcome people there. We love to welcome travelers, locals, whoever you are, you're welcome to come out and enjoy yourself, relax. And again, we might trick you into learning a few things while you're there, but it is a place where we love to welcome travelers from all over the world, but also our local community. Come on out and see us.
Cheryl Miller with the California Trail Interpretive Center. You can find out more online, californiatrailinterpretivecenter.org. Head on out. Admission is free. And again, all the activities and opportunities we talked about, you can find details on the Facebook page or online. Thanks again, Cheryl, for being here and bringing your sense of wonder and excitement.
It's my pleasure as always.
Yeah, thank you. Now, Clint will obviously give you a chance if there's anything we missed out on. We appreciate your being on the program, too.
No, I don't think so. We did mention, you mentioned the 3 zones around home, and I kind of just broad stroked that, but really for folks, it's the immediate zone is with 0 to 5 feet in front of between your home and fuels, and then from there it goes out to 5 to 30, and then beyond there it goes from 30 to 100. So really, the closer you are to your home, the more you want to do, the farther out it is. If you can't get to it, you can't get to it. But if you can, the simple things are just mowing, removing the main carrier of our fire, which is cheatgrass. So with that, please be safe at Elko County, and hopefully fall will be here soon enough.
Yeah, and hopefully we will see you back here next month, because that means we're getting through it and
Yes.
you're in town. So thank you, listeners, for joining us for today's edition of Elko Live. And our guests today from the Bureau of Land Management, Your Public Lands, Clint Mothershed and Cheryl Miller. And we appreciate you listening to our program here on KELK. Thank you.